Hey guys, what's going on? So recently I've been backtesting this strategy. I'm about to go through it today and just show you my whole process of what I have been backtesting, why I've been doing it the way I've been doing it, and pretty much just analyzing what I've been doing. So I'm not going to waste any time, we'll get stuck into it. Pretty much what I was trying to backtest was break of trend lines within a channel. So you can see here there's a channel that's formed, and inside this channel there's many trend lines or like little other channels. And I was just pretty much testing, the break of these channels and trend lines and how to trade them. So what I did was, inside the channel, I identified a trend first. So then I drew in the trend line. And then I looked around where it broke and its patterns. So the first one, I'll explain it. So price touch resistance dropped and retested into this fib zone. So as you may have noticed, I've color coded everything. So my fib zones are usually yellow, the lower high, lower lows, or anything of that sense I've put into this like light blue, and touching resistance or touching support I've done green. And then I've got you can read. So pretty much what I saw here was price touch resistance, came down, retested into a fib zone, and then made a leg down. This is where it first broke the trend line, and then it did retest. So it came back up, retested. It wasn't exactly on the line, but it was around in that area. So yeah, retested, came down, made a big push down, and that's when the EMA crossover happened. So I've got the 20 as the red and then the 50 as the blue. When it broke the trend, this is what happened. These are the different things that happened. So I'll look out for these. So that broke, I followed it, identified another trend, and then I just identified what happened again. So it touched the support, pushed up, and retraced into the fib zone, exactly like how it did before. Now by doing this, it created a higher high and a higher low. So it's turning into an uptrend. It's like the same thing happened but opposite for the other trade. So then I realized this, and then price went up, from the fib retracement, it made another leg up, EMA crossed over, and price continued up. So okay, they look pretty similar. Kept going, found another trend, so touched resistance, made a leg down, retraced back into a fib zone like it did on the other two, and created a lower high and a lower low on the next leg. So this is where it broke through. So after the test into the fib zone, it made a leg, broke through the support, came back and retested, and then dropped. And the EMA crossed over just after price broke through the support and made a big drop. So this time, price touched support 3 times. So it came down, it looked like it was gonna break, but it straight up came back. It didn't even retest, it came all the way back in to these these resistance areas. Came down, tested again, couldn't break through, but now it started hovering around this area before price touched for the third and final time, retraced back into a fib zone, creating the higher low and a higher high. So you can see there's a pattern here. I mean, I found it pretty obvious. EMA crossed over, price continued up. So by this point I was like, well, I'm seeing patterns, there's always the break and the retest. It's, it makes a leg up first, which breaks the whatever line, the support or the resistance, before retracing into a fib zone, and then making, its move up or down, and then the fib, the EMA crosses over, and then price continues. So that seemed pretty straightforward. So by this time I started really understanding, okay, so this is very reoccurring. So again, break of trend line, it didn't exactly touch support here, but it came down to it. Made a leg, retraced into a fib zone, which created the higher low and the higher high, and then price, EMA crossed over, price continued up in the channel. Here's another one, didn't do this one, but yeah, let's see. So price broke through on one leg, this is probably retracing into a fib zone, but this time it didn't drop, it continued, it just broke structure. It was supposed to go down, make another leg, create a lower low, but it didn't. But let's just see anyway, boom, perfect fib zone. So it did retrace into this. So yeah, price went, boom, but it couldn't push through. And yeah, look at the moving averages too. They didn't really cross, so they're still up. So I wouldn't have sold on this, because if you looked at every other single time, the EMAs crossed. This time it didn't cross, and price looks like it's struggling to break down, so that's why I didn't do that. Another trend line coming down, big push up, break. Now the fib, I did it from down here somewhere. I didn't do this full, but yeah, broke through with a leg, retested into fib zone, EMA is crossed. You know, it's a pattern. It's happening over and over again. Now I'm not even going to go into every single one, but you can see the pattern, and it does that over and over and over again. Okay, but sometimes price didn't always retest, or it did retest, but it wasn't so obvious. As you see, I'm on the 2 hour time frame. This is how I did all those trades. But I decided, like, this was the first one which I saw break but not retest, I think. So I looked into it a little bit closer, so I went on to the 15. And there actually was a break and a retest here. Like, just a small one, but hey, it broke and it retested. So that's also something that's important. If I do see a break but no retest on the larger time frames, I will scale down into the 15-minute or the half an hour to see those finer details. So I'm just going to keep backtesting. I'm going to backtest like further into time, and then I'm going to try other strategies, but it's pretty clear here that, you know, there's patterns in this strategy. So I'm going to take that into account and just keep trialing it. Alright, so I'm going to cut it there with the back testing just because it is pretty repetitive, and that pattern which I pointed out and showed you many examples of just happened over and over and over and over again for like over a year worth of back testing, and it was just all in this one giant channel. So I'm going to look at other giant channels and see if the pattern is still there, and if it is, then I'll be pretty happy to add that into my trading plan and just, you know, polish it. See if it works now on the live charts, which I'm currently in one trade and it's doing well using that strategy. So yeah, that's the end of my backtesting video. I'll probably do some more, but yeah, catch you in the next one.